Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about juniors. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, hi Frederick, this was actually posted on a video I made called Is a strong tech lead hard to deal with? And the question was, what about a junior who acts like a tech lead, product owner, and developer in one, while micromanaging the seniors, teaching him how computers work? Well, um, that's actually pretty simple. Or rather, I have a pretty good efficient strategy for this. So one of the things that I very quickly realized was that this idea that especially the junior software developers have, that, or at least the philosophers have, that that software development is just about who has the most efficient solution or the best idea is the thing that dictates everything, is not actually true. It's usually the person who has because we live basically, software developers usually live in expert democracy. So the person who usually gets their way is usually the individual who can make a good case for whatever approach they want. That's the main difference between you being heard and you being ignored. So if you have what this sort of indicates, if you have say a junior who acts like a person who sort of like does all the things and so forth, it's very likely that this is happening because there is a space for them to do this. Because if a senior software developer is being taught by in or sort of school in this way, it seems to me, based on the way that you formulate yourself, that this is a senior who doesn't really put anything forward, really doesn't really engage, doesn't really do this or that. Because if you did, well, then you probably would have like why do you refer to the junior as a product owner and a tech lead? Why isn't that an equal partnership? The formulation indicates to me that the senior is probably not actually, it's most likely a code monkey, because the junior has space to do all this stuff in an unhindered fashion, and the way you express it seems to indicate that that's a bother for you or for this person, right? And when that happens, it's likely the case that this junior would pretty much stop being a bother and so forth if the person engaged. Because if a senior is engaging with the junior and actually having some ideas of their own, or like actually putting things forward, well, then all of a sudden there's a collaboration going on, which is sort of most likely the way the thing that the junior is looking for. I've never met a junior software developer who didn't want to collaborate when a senior actually has earned their respect. And that's hopefully the thing that's what should be happening in the first place. I have worked with quite a few philosophers, and some of them annoying to the point where I wish I could strangle them. Well, not literally, but they are frustrating like hell, where you have endless discussions over and over and over. And this is not just juniors, guys. It's, as I said, people who are like very, very, very indoctrinated into a certain way of thinking. And this brings us back to the expert democracy. Because in a democracy, there is, even if you have the best arguments in the world, and you have, like in this case, say the junior, you have all these ideas and so forth and so forth, at the end of the day, you're there to create some type of value, and the people who depend on you are going to get frustrated, just as you get frustrated with your politicians if all they ever do is talk and never get anything done. So sooner or later, pressure is going to build. And when that pressure starts coming in, someone is going to have to fold if you can't reach an agreement. What I usually do is very simple. I engage with my juniors and I tell them, I share my thoughts, even though that can take longer than just, please just, be quiet and let me do my thing. Because I'm not that sort of developer. If you are that sort of developer, then you are causing this yourself. It's like you're enabling the situation because you are not engaging yourself. You're leaving a space open for someone who's looking and yearning for engagement to just run around. It's like a parent who doesn't give a shit about their kid. If you just let them do whatever they want and you don't pay any attention, this is what happens. You have to you have to engage in the situation in a mature manner. But if you face off, it's the same thing with the teenager and so forth. You can't maybe pull rank in the situation because you're in a place of work. But what you can do is to do the thing that I usually do, and that is to say, all right, you want to do this, and I understand what you want to do. I'm thinking we should do this, and this is how. I usually don't pull rank on people, and I say, let's kick it up a notch. Like kick it up to kick it up a level, and say, all right, is there anybody else in the team? Here are my arguments for doing A, here are your arguments for doing B, and either we ask the stakeholders, the manager, you get some type of diplomatic thing going. As I said, it's an export democracy. You might have seniority or you might not, but if you're really going about this in the best possible way, there should be other people who can give you some access, way to tip the scales in one direction or the other. For me, it's actually really simple. When I discuss with my coworkers, if I don't really know how a feature should work or something like that, I usually go and ask, hey, product manager, or hey, boss, can you give some advice? What would you say is the best approach here? I'm thinking this, they're thinking this, we're having a hard time deciding which approach to go with. And then you use that as a reference for which approach to go with. But as I said, that requires you to engage in a way that it seems like you're not doing at this, based on what I'm reading from the question. So what I want you to take away from this is that if you have a junior who is acting like tech lead, product owner, developer, and micromanaging seniors and so forth, it's likely because they have a lot of opinions about a lot of stuff. And if you're not engaging with that individual, it's not really weird that this is happening. But let's just presume now, for your sake, that you are. Let's say that you are doing all the right things and they just continuously get on your back about it. Then I suggest that you have this approach, that you in a very diplomatic way say, you want this, I want this. Let's talk to somebody and see which approach to go with. Because what's going to happen is that you maintain a good relationship with the junior. They feel heard. They feel like they're being understood. And at the same time, you shuffle the responsibility of having to basically have this combat, because if you're both at the same level and you have no influence or so forth, you can't pull rank on them. So find someone, and if they're rational people, they're going to see what's going on. And I can promise you, with the times when I've done this, even with the most die-hard juniors who are up in it all the time, sooner or later, if you continue this process, the manager and the other people that you keep on calling in because this person has an opinion about every single thing every 5 seconds, they're going to start to wonder, when is this junior actually doing anything but talking, or so forth and so forth. And if there really are causing issues with all this noise that they're making, they're going to stop sooner or later, because people are going to notice that actually this person isn't really doing a good job, or actually this person is getting a little bit annoying and so forth. And you can say that in a very graceful, nice manner to your manager, or communicate that to some other person, and they will start talking seriously with the junior sooner or later. But if you just sit there, you don't engage, and all of this sort of stuff is going on, then who knows, maybe this junior is actually doing something that you should be doing. It's hard for me to tell, but it does seem like if there is a space for a junior to behave this way when a senior is close by, then it's probably a case of that there's a little bit of blame to share here. Have a great day.